Assalamu alaikum and welcome to this Ramadan special with Penny Appeal USA. For the next half an hour, you'll get to hear from me about the work that we do. You'll hear from our staff about their roles in the organization and how this month you can get involved with the fantastic work. You'll get to see the office, you'll meet some of the volunteers. My name is Usama Mezri, I'm the CEO, so come on in. So welcome inside the office. Penny Appeal USA. We're a charity organization, that means a 501c3 organization, with a very simple mission. That's to eradicate intergenerational poverty. Now that's a simple mission that of course is very difficult to achieve. How do we work to achieve our mission? Through access to education, through giving families and communities access to income generation, giving families and communities access to pure, clean drinking water. For the next 25 minutes or so, you'll hear all about the various programs that we run here in America, but also in over 30 countries across the world. So, alhamdulillah, we launched Penny Appeal USA just under 2 years ago in July 2016. Since then, we've had over 4,000 or 5,000 individual donors support the work that we do. We've had a Super Muslim comedy tour that many of you may have attended. Penny Appeal USA is actually part of a wider Penny Appeal family. Started in the United Kingdom just over 9 years ago in a small town of Wakefield, with offices now in West Africa, in Southeast Asia and in Australia. We have a sub-office here in the United States in Tampa, Florida, and we're currently a team of 9 full-time staff. As I mentioned earlier, we have 3 or 4 major themes when it comes to our programs. It's about providing people with the basics, so basic nutrition and food, and access to clean drinking water. Without access to water, without access to food, really all of the sustainable programs are not going to have a major impact. Once we have that, we then focus on education, helping children, helping refugees, helping communities access education. Here in the United States, for example, our flagship program in education is Bridging the Digital Divide. We're working in some of the poorest schools in America, Title I schools in Los Angeles, in Charlotte, North Carolina. We're working with refugees in Houston, Texas, helping bridge that digital divide, which is preventing school children from succeeding at high school and accessing college. As well as the education programs, we have access to income generation. And that's really all about providing people with the skills they need and with the resources and tools that they need to be able to earn an income for themselves and for their families. This Ramadan, we're focusing on 4 programs. We're focusing on access to food as part of our Feed Our World program for just $45 a month. That's correct, that's $45 a month. We're able to provide 30 meals for a family. That's $1.50 per day. So program number 1 this Ramadan that we really encourage everybody watching to support is our Feed Our World program. So that's Feed Our World. You can of course find out more at www.pennyappealusa.org. Our second program this Ramadan is Orphan Kind. Our Orphan Kind program really is really fantastic. Not because of course I'm biased, which I am, but because there are 2 elements to our program that I think you'll struggle to find in many other organizations. The first is the building of the orphan complexes and the orphan villages. Our Orphan Kind villages consist of 10 individual orphan homes that exist in a compound with a play area, with a school, with foster homes who look after the children, so that the children are able to grow up in a healthy environment with foster mothers who look for them, look out for them, who provide the emotional support that they need. They can play with their friends in a safe, clean, modern environment. We have our orphan complex in Gambia in West Africa. We've currently started our 2nd orphan complex in Pakistan at about an hour and a half outside of Islamabad. So the 2nd program this Ramadan is Orphan Kind. You can sponsor children in 11 countries with Penny Appeal USA for $30 a month. That's $1 a day. You can help us support the holistic needs of these children. You'll get a orphan sponsorship package from us. You'll get a welcome pack that will give you the details of the child, the country that they live in, and online you can choose from 11 countries. So that's program number 2 this Ramadan. Program number 3 this month is thirst relief. And again, that's about providing families and communities with access to clean drinking water. Just think about what it means to not have access to clean water. The number of hours usually women spend in these communities walking to get clean water. What does it mean for your health if you're consuming water that's contaminated and all the waterborne diseases that you're familiar with? You can't really go to school as a child. It's very difficult to go out to the farm if you're working on the farm. And so access to clean water really helps communities come out of their socioeconomic status and go up one step. Kids can go to school, adults can go to work. You're limiting the impact of disease. So that's our third program, thirst relief. And our fourth program focuses on our domestic work here at home, where we're working in education, we're working with refugee families, we're working with homeless communities. That's a lot of information there. Of course, you can find out more at pennyappealusa.org.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Muhammad Ali. I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications at Penny Appeal USA. I'm responsible for communicating with our internal and external stakeholders. That means people that are part of the board or the staff at Penny Appeal USA, as well as our donors and volunteers and other people that are interested in the organization or have expressed interest in the organization. I've worked on so many different things while I've been here. I joined Penny Appeal USA about 2 years ago, along with our CEO, Osama Mezwi. When we came to the organization, there were a few people that were here. Aisha, who you may have already seen, as well as Yasmin. Osama and I joined on, and since then we've been part of this amazing experience that's called Penny Appeal USA. One of the things that really drew me to Penny Appeal is the fact that we're able to really work on sustainable programs, and not just on any type of sustainable programs or any type or kind of sustainable programming, but also on sustainable programs that are here in the United States. Our Digital Divide program, for example, is a program that I think we don't really see often in our community, in the Muslim community, programs that are trying to bridge the digital divide between those who have and those who don't have, kids that are living in rural and urban communities in the country. That's a very unique program that I think we've really pioneered in the U.S. Coming from the Muslim community. Our social services programs also are excellent. We developed an app a year ago or so, in Galveston, Texas, and the app has, I think, been able to help about 35,000 people get connected with social services in the language of their choice. And so these are programs that are really meaningful to me. Just recently I got the opportunity to go to Gambia with some of our ambassadors, as well as with Imam Johari. And it was an incredible experience to see some of our programs up close and personal. I visited orphans in our orphanages. We have the largest number of orphanages in Gambia. And spending time with the orphans was an incredible experience. These kids are brilliant children. But also the program itself was amazing. The kids go to a private school, so we don't just give them just any type of education. We give them an opportunity to pursue education to its fullest in Gambia. They're getting better education than the kids that aren't orphans and aren't part of our program. And on top of that, they get to have really amazing experiences. They go on these expeditions, they call them excursions, field trips to the beach, and they also perform at different traditional settings. So we were at a bonfire where the kids were doing a play, for example, and telling jokes and stories, and that was an amazing experience for me. One of the things that I really liked, and one of the things that I think people should really check out this Ramadan, is our Feed Our World program. This Feed Our World program includes both the relief element. One of the things that I really did not pay attention to in the past is the fact that, you know, we often talk about sustainable programs. We talk about doing things that are sustainable and focusing on long-term projects. But if you're not able to provide food for a person for one day, and they go to bed hungry that night, then it really doesn't matter. All the sustainable programs in the world will never help that person if they're not able to make it through the next day. And so one of the things that our Feed Our World program does is that we provide meals for people. Specifically during the month of Ramadan, we provide meals for people every single day in Ramadan. And for people that want to provide meals for the rest of the year, they can donate $45 a month, and they provide a meal, 30 meals for $45 a month to a family. But we also go beyond that with the element of sustainability. So in Gambia, there's this horticultural project that was benefiting 350 to 400 women, where every morning they were coming to this horticultural garden, and they were actually gardening and growing sustainable crops, and they were giving 10% of of what they were generating from the garden, and they were putting it back into the project. So not only was it sustainable from the perspective of gardens being, or horticultural gardens being a sustainable project, but also the fact that the community bought into that project. We were at a water, one of our projects is called the Solar, Water, and Electricity Center in Gambia. And we have a similar project in Pakistan. And the thing about this project that was really amazing is we met with one of the community leaders that was there, an imam. And the imam told us that this project, they had to raise about $20,000 for them, $20,000 to $40,000 or so, in order for this project to come to them. So the project itself is quite expensive, but the community themselves said that we want this project here. We want to have access to clean, safe, consumable water. We want access to electricity. And so they put forth some of their money, and Penny Appeal matched it. And as a result, we were able to provide them with a solar, water, and electricity center that not only powers a school, but also a masjid. And imagine the rewards that our donors are getting as a result of a program like that. You know, as that was an incredible experience for me, because I left and I went to the field. But oftentimes I'm here in the office, and so some of the things that I do here at the office is I work with Aisha on a few different projects that we do. So a lot of our social media and that type of marketing are mailers that go out. So if you received a mailer, that comes from our department, the Marketing Communications Department. And I directly work on our website. So I happen to be a developer. I work on our website. And so one of the things that we've really been working hard on is making our website more accessible to people. So accessibility from the perspective of dealing with people that may have disabilities or are visually impaired. So we're working on making our website more accessible to folks that happen to have those type of disabilities. But also accessibility in the sense that we want to make donating easy for you. We want to make the experience on our website beautiful. We want to make it seamless. And we want the entire experience that you have as a donor be seamless across the board. Whether you come to an event or whether you end up donating online, that entire process, we want it to be seamless. So we work together with other departments, for example, Carmel in our donor relations department, to be able to provide that seamless experience for you. From emails that you receive that are beautifully crafted, and we spend a lot of time on in order to get the messaging right, in order to get the visuals right, to producing the videos that you see. So that's really what our department does. It's a bit of almost everything, and it's an amazing experience here at Penny Appeal USA, and we hope you'll support us this Ramadan. It's a really, really important Ramadan for us, our second year, I think, second actual Ramadan campaign. And this year we hope you'll support us by visiting pennyappealusa.org/Ramadan and donating. Whatever you give doesn't come to me, it doesn't come to Aisha, it doesn't come to Osama, it doesn't come to any of us. It goes to the programs that you care about, and it helps make those programs a reality, and it helps transform the lives of the people that we're trying to help. So we really appreciate your support, and we hope that you'll continue to support us in the future. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Yasmin Hassanzada, and I am the Programs Officer here at Penny Appeal USA. I'm also the National Team Orange Coordinator. I wear multiple hats, as I think all of the staff members here at Penny Appeal do. I focus on both domestic programs and international programs, and I also manage kind of all of the volunteers around the country. I started with Penny Appeal back in 2016 when it first began, and I got to see how it developed and grew, and I see a lot of potential for the organization. I think it's filling a gap in the market that wasn't really there before, or wasn't really being satisfied, and I think that primarily it speaks to the youth and speaks to young professionals, or just people in general who want to see, you know, kind of transparency and want to see innovation in the nonprofit kind of field, where, you know, it's kind of more traditional, I would say, especially within the Muslim community. So it's a really, really exciting kind of organization to be a part of. So I've actually had some really, really cool experiences working with Penny Appeal. One of them was right after Hurricane Maria hit. I was able to go to Puerto Rico and travel to the worst hit areas, which was in the mountains. And it was really me, and I didn't see any other NGO present. There wasn't FEMA, there wasn't the military. It was really just me. And I think for a lot of people, they'd expressed that I was the first sort of, you know, aid that they'd received. So it was really, really interesting kind of being amongst the people and figuring out what their problems are and trying to, you know, figure out what way Penny Appeal can help the most that's sustainable, because that's really important to us, and that's ethical. So it was really, really transformative experience for me, and I'll always kind of take that with me. I've also been able to travel, you know, internationally for Penny Appeal. So during Ramadan in 2016, I went to Egypt, and a lot of people don't know that Syrian refugees actually settle in Egypt as well as other parts of the world. And so I went and I created a program specifically for the Syrian refugees who resettled in Egypt, and we did kind of like a cultural event, and it was an iftar event, and it was 4 different ones in Cairo, and we like served about 500 Syrian refugees each event. So it was really, really cool, and it was like an emotional event because we did a lot of cultural things, and I think a lot of Syrians who were newly settled kind of longed for a sense of connection with their home country that they missed a lot. So it was a beautiful experience. I think one of my favorite parts of Penny Appeal USA is the youth movement. You know, like I mentioned, Penny Appeal really is kind of a youthful organization in the way that we think, and in our volunteer base, and in our donor base, and I appreciate that. I think a lot of, you know, the youth don't necessarily have a lot of money, but, you know, our philosophy is small change, big difference, which basically is, you know, even if you have $5 a month that you can contribute, that makes a difference in the long run. And, you know, it's a really powerful thing to just, you know, contribute just a small amount. And, you know, when you're able in the future, if you can increase that, that's great. But $5 still, you know, means something to somebody in the world. So it's an awesome part of being, you know, part of this organization is the idea that we're not after, you know, a crazy amount of money from people. We understand that everyone has expenses and everyone's at different stages of their life. So yeah, we meet in the middle.
With me is brother Arsalan Iftikhar. Arsalan is a human rights lawyer, he's an advocate, he's a commentator on cultural and political affairs. He's also a Penny Appeal USA brand ambassador. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Good to see you.
Good to have you.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, alhamdulillah. Arsalan, recently you went to Pakistan.
I did.
You saw some of the pro work we have out there. We want to hear about it. Tell us, what did you hear? What did you see? How was your experience? Which month did you go out? Remind me.
So we went in March of 2018. We end of March, beginning first week of April, got back. And to be honest, Osama, it was a life-changing experience. You know, obviously, you know, for me at least, since my family is from Pakistan, growing up having gone there every year of my life as a child, this trip was completely different because even though I know about the culture and the country, I was able to see a part of Pakistani society that I had never been exposed to before. And that was the Penny Appeal orphan villages and group homes there. And just the people that I met there on the ground, whether it be the Penny Appeal Pakistan office staff or the children in the orphan group homes and the people working on the project, it was an amazing experience that I'll never forget.
Have you been on a humanitarian trip before?
No, I've not actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so this was life-changing in many different ways.
Wow. Did you see both homes for girls and boys?
Yeah, so during the time that we were there visiting the Penny Appeal orphan group homes, we had the honor of visiting both girls and boys homes. And you know, these are just regular homes in major cities like Islamabad and Rawalpindi. And essentially, in each home, there'd be 2 floors of a home, and on each floor there'd be 6 children living on each floor with a full-time foster mother in each floor. You know, there were group homes for young boys called the HIFS Orphan Program, where these young boys were being taught Quran during the day while playing soccer in the afternoon and getting to be regular boys. In the girls' home, you know, we got to see them celebrate each other's birthdays, sing songs, go off to school, play in the park together. And do things that normal, regular kids do. You
know, one thing that we try and do is talk about holistic service. And that's very difficult sometimes to portray to our audience or to the donors, and it's something that you have to see with your eyes. When we talk about holistic service, we're talking about not just shelter, but we're talking about food and healthcare and education. Tell us a bit about those things. I mean, did you talk to the girls about schooling, about their aspirations?
Absolutely, we talked about everything, and you know, like I mentioned, you know, if you've never visited an orphanage before, you might have these preconceived notions of like concrete slabs and 45 bunk beds in a room with porridge being slapped on people's trays, and these are kids who have their own beds with like SpongeBob SquarePants and Dora the Explorer bed sheets. You know, they refer to their foster mothers as Ummi, like as their own mother. You know, they're not only provided with clothing and food and shelter, but education. They have regular checkups with mental health professionals who come to the group homes themselves, which is unheard of in many places. Now they're going to have access to dental care, and you know, they have medical care, obviously. But again, this holistic, this whole entire sort of holistic paradigm that Penny Appeal is providing for these children is A to Z.
One thing that we really want our donors to understand is we're actually not doing a one-to-one model at Penny Appeal. And so lots of organizations will ask for $50 or $60 a month sponsorship.
Right.
It's not enough, actually.
Right.
$50, $60, $80, $90 a month one-to-one sponsorship is not enough to actually give a child the kind of modern, clean home, the clothing, the food, and education, dental health checkups.
Yeah.
And so what we're doing is actually making giving affordable, hence our slogan, small change, big difference.
Right.
We ask for $30 a month. We ask for $1 a day.
Nothing.
But it's a communal model. So what it means is that your sponsorship and my sponsorship and everyone's sponsorship goes into one pot, and from that pot we provide these children with everything that they need. So a child may cost us $160 one month. It may cost us $200 the next month if it's a school, you know, if it's the beginning of a school year.
Absolutely.
And actually a child may get sick and will have to go to hospital and actually may need some teeth taken out.
Sure.
So what does that mean? That month may cost us $400.
Yeah.
And so by having a communal model, that's really what we would love our donors to understand, is that yes, it's $30 a month, more than welcome to give 60 or 90 or 120.
Sure.
But the reason we have this communal model is so that in these homes, in the villages that we're building, we're able to provide the holistic need for the entire.
Absolutely. And you know what's really important, Osama, is that, you know, we spend $30 to $60 a month on coffee every month. I mean, I know I spend $4 at Starbucks every day, which I shouldn't, but I do. And again, you know, for this 30,
especially like, you know, that kind of quality coffee, $4 is.
I know, it's just terrible. That's a different conversation. But again, I want people to know that, you know, not only did I travel 7,000 miles, you know, to visit these orphanages, but when I came back, the first thing that I did was I put my money where my mouth is, and I'm part of that sponsorship program. Yeah, again, because I believe in that holistic model. I think that, you know, it does take a village, you know, to raise a child, and I think that, you know, if we can all pool our resources, again, to the amount of, again, spending $1 on a cup of coffee each and every day, you know, to change the lives transformationally of these kids that I've seen with my own eyes. You know, these are not just abstract figures that, you know, see on YouTube videos or, you know, on Instagram photos, but again, these are real children that have hopes and dreams and, you know, that really are going to be the future contributing members of society over there. What I was most sort of captivated by, honestly, was how confident these kids were. I mean, again, these were kids who really, you know, even though they had the quote-unquote label of being orphans, they were they were confident. They were sassing each other. They were standing up for one another. They, you know, if somebody was, you know, playing a little bit longer on the playground, on the seesaw, or on the monkey bars, you know, they would stand up for themselves. And so, like, you know, again, you have this preconceived notion of what these orphans being sort of these weak children. They're not. They're very strong, happy, well-adjusted young kids. I mean, again, you walk into this house, you would never know that they were orphans. And again, Penny Appeal Pakistan staffers themselves actually send their own kids to the same school as these orphans, and that's really Penny Appeal staff really putting their money where their mouth is in terms of this holistic model.
And the objective at the end of the day is that just because these kids are orphaned, it's not a reason or an excuse for them not to succeed in life.
Absolutely.
Right? That's our objective,
Sure.
is to give them that level playing field.
Absolutely.
That's not the only thing we can do in
Absolutely, because again, it could have been either one of us.
Absolutely.
And we're so blessed, and we live such charmed lives that we often forget that. Again, I'll be honest, I went there and I saw these kids, and I saw how grateful they were to Allah for everything that they've been given, however little it might be, that I literally left there, Osama, and I thought to myself, I literally have nothing to complain about in my life.
You know, but I think it's not a coincidence. When you think about Allah Azza wa Jalla and how in the Quran orphans are mentioned time and time and time again, right?
Yeah.
The famous hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, that the person who sponsors an orphan and ayah like this on the Day of Judgment. The idea is that there is a lesson there, right? There's a message for us in observing orphans, in understanding how privileged we are to have those of us who are brought up with parents, fathers and mothers, that actually Allah put such a responsibility on us to look after the yatim, the orphan.
Absolutely.
And so I think the way you felt, I remember having that conversation with you after you landed, it really was transformative for you.
It was.
But I think that's just not for you. I think there's something special about orphan children, and of course Allah focusing on them in the Quran is just, I think,
well, and no, absolutely, and Osama, as you know from when we had our phone call debriefing about the trip, the minute I got back, I was asking when you could send me back again. There was this sort of spiritual longing again. Just thinking from sort of a philosophical vantage point. Again, nothing in this world, in this dunya, really is more dear to a person normally than their parents, and their mother, and their father. And Islamic tradition teaches us that, and most of, at some point, the circle of life happens, and we lose our parents. At some point, we become orphans, and it's usually at a very old, elderly age for most people. These kids never had that. Like, imagine living your entire life from your adolescence to your early teen years, to teenage years, to college years, to your early, with none of that emotional support that most human beings get on a daily basis.
And the interaction that defines us, right?
Yeah,
often the interaction with our parents defines who we become.
Absolutely.
Either you're a rebel, either you're, so the interaction with mom, the interaction with dad,
absolutely
defines who we become as adults.
Absolutely. Our warmth and our competence as human beings really are shaped by the way that we interact with our families. And that's what, again, it was so impressive about these young boys and girls in these Penny Appeal group homes, was the fact that they were so well adjusted. I mean, they had every right in the world to hate the world, and they didn't. And that was the beautiful thing about it, is that they truly showed the Islamic ethos of shukr, of gratitude, and that's something that I think that all of us as human beings can really learn from them.
Excellent. So Aslan, we've discussed the first part of Orphan Kind, which is the sponsorship, which is anybody watching this evening today can sponsor a child for a minimum of $13 a month.
Yes.
Let's talk a bit about part 2 of that program, which is the Orphan Kind Complex, which is our model for building villages for orphan children. You went to visit the land for our latest complex in Pakistan.
I did.
Tell us a bit about that project.
So when we landed in Pakistan, we landed at Islamabad International Airport at about 3 o'clock in the morning. By 7 a.m. that same day, 4 hours later, after we had basically thrown our bags into our hotel rooms, we were already on the road to this orphan village complex in central Punjab. So basically we drove for an hour and a half, almost 2 hours, from Islamabad to a part of central Punjab called Sohawa. And in Sohawa, in this rural village area, Penny Appeal is building this huge 4-acre, I think it's like 170,000 square foot complex, which is going to house over 200 orphan children, 100 boys, 100 girls. But in addition to that, Osama, they're going to build a huge school which is going to teach over 1,000 kids, not only from the orphan village, but from the surrounding areas as well. Boys' school and girls' school. Most importantly, so that the village village and the surrounding communities and society will see the orphans as a blessing to their local communities, right? And not as a burden, right? And so we wanted to be contributing parts of those local communities and local societies. In addition to that, they're building a huge warehouse. I believe it's something like 20 to 50,000 square foot warehouse where they will house disaster relief supplies. So Pakistan, over the last few years, has had major flooding and major earthquakes, which has devastated hundreds of thousands of people. And so they want to create a warehouse within this complex in central Punjab where they can basically warehouse these relief supplies, so that when there is the next flood or there is the next earthquake, that they can quickly be shipped to Kashmir or Sindh, wherever these natural disasters are. Again, so this village is, this complex is seen as a benefit to society and not a burden. Again, it's a fantastic complex. I literally was standing on the construction site, and they're saying, inshallah, by the year 2023, this project will be up and running, and at a cost of I think about $2 million US dollars from now until then. But again, this is going to create not only these complexes that are going to house young orphan boys and girls, but again, create a system so that these complexes, Penny Appeal, can become a part of the greater economies of the region in the area there.
So, what's in a name? You're probably thinking about Penny Appeal. What does it mean? Penny Appeal. Well, one man's cent is another man's penny. Our slogan, of course, is small change, big difference. What you see here is a jar of pennies. And our philosophy at Penny Appeal is really simple, is that we can all do a small amount or a big amount to have a better impact on the world. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter if you're a student or if you're retired. What really matters is the intention, of course, to help people, the niyyah, to assist those less fortunate than ourselves. And with small change, with a small number of these pennies, together we can actually make a big impact. Your donation and my donation, all of our donations put together, can really change the lives of orphans. It can change the lives of communities that don't have water. It can change the life of an inner city person here at home attending a Title I school. So now you understand what the name means, Penny Appeal. We are, of course, asking for your pennies this Ramadan. So again, I encourage everybody watching this evening to visit pennyappealusa.org. Small change, big difference.
Hi, I'm Carmel, the Donor Relations Manager here at Penny Appeal USA, and I'm your main point of contact. So if we haven't communicated, that's really unfortunate, and you should give me a call sometime at 202-851-2112. And so as the Donor Relations Manager, I deal with everything regarding your donation. I know when it came in, I know how it came in, I know what payment method you used, and even if you decided that you wanted to donate to refugees first and then said, no, stop, I want my recurring donation to go to thirst relief. I'm the person who helps you make those changes to your recurring donations or your one-time donations. I'm your one-stop shop. And so in terms of myself and how I got Penny Appeal, I started back in January 2018 to this small organization that I had never heard of, but they had a really great mission of helping other people, and having been in the nonprofit community for a while, you know, I looked at them and I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to help their donors be the best people in the entire world. So if they ever had any questions, I wanted to be their first point of contact. If they had trouble accessing the website, I wanted to be there to help them. If for some reason you are making a recurring donation and you need to, you know, again, make some changes to it, give me a call. I am here every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and this Ramadan I will be here from 10 a.m. to midnight. And you can give us a call anytime at 202-851-2112. And for the past few weeks, the things that I've been working on to get started before Ramadan, because you have to start early, otherwise you're going to be fasting and it's going to be hurting and it's going to be terrible, and you don't want it to be terrible. So to prepare for Ramadan, on my end, I've been working on our match giving program. So You know, if you make a $5 donation and your employer happens to do match giving, give them a call or come talk to me and say, hey, my company will give, you know, however much I give. If I give you $5, they're gonna give you $5. Congratulations, your donation just became $10 to helping someone. You know, if for some reason you're like, well, I wanna change my credit card to a different credit card, again, give me a call. I'm the person that you wanna see and I will be so happy to talk to you about it. And other than that, you know, Ramadan is going to be a really great Ramadan. Even though I said that twice, that sounds weird. It's totally okay. But for Ramadan, I'm gonna be here for you at least, it's more than 12 hours a day, and I'm totally okay with that. Again, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. No, that's a lie, 12 a.m. That's a long time. That's 14 hours. 14 hours a day, Penny Appeal USA is going to be available to you. I am personally making myself available all Ramadan to you to talk to you about match giving, to talk to you about recurring donations. If you haven't received your program report, give me a call. Like that, I wanna know why you haven't received it and I wanna get it to you as soon as possible. For some reason, if you want your tax receipt early, I don't mind giving that to you. I'll generate it right here, right now. Just give me a call at 202-851-2112. Again, that number is 202-851-2112. And that's Ramadan!
My name is Aisha Abdullah, and I am the Marketing and Communications Officer at Penny Appeal USA. My job here at Penny Appeal USA is to communicate with our supporters and our volunteers, and to have them join us in achieving and in ending cyclical poverty around the world and here in the US. And that is the reason why it's so important to create that identity for Penny Appeal USA is that as a growing organization, many people associate us with the color orange, and many people associate us with transparency and being ethical and being responsible. I think when we first started Penny Appeal USA, a lot of people were like, what is this organization? How do you say it? It's Penny Appeal? What does that even mean? And I think now, 2 years later, a lot of them kind of know who we are and they know the name and they understand our mission and why we are doing this. And a lot of them are, and a lot of these people have become like a part of our volunteers and have become part of our families. And I think a lot of that is because they see us as a nonprofit organization that's young and passionate and really into what we are doing, basically feel the responsibility that we have kind of taken on. Many of the things that we try to achieve and try to do at Penny Appeal USA is be transparent with our donors, to be transparent with our supporters, to make sure that 100% of our donations go to the program that they are passionate about. And that is why our Ramadan theme this year is about responsibility, and it's about responsible giving. And that is kind of the theme behind our Penny Appeal, our Ramadan logo. So the fact that the P here stands for Penny Appeal, and the R that becomes the element of it is for Ramadan and is about responsibility giving. And so the fact that the P and the R kind of seamlessly combine and overlay, it really symbolizes Penny Appeal's ideals and the essence of Ramadan, which is about charity giving. And the extra leg of the R kind of gives it that the edge of that comes with responsibility.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Fatima Gadura.
My name is Lynn Saoud, and we're both the Team Orange coordinators for the DMV region. For those who don't know, the DMV includes Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia.
So what is a little bit of what we do? So essentially we help recruit volunteers for the various events that we do. We manage volunteers, we maintain communication with them, and help answer any questions. We also help plan really creative creative events and
fundraising events. We also help with like brainstorming ideas with the Penny Appeal team and within the office. We actually we're also doing Ramadan iftars, and we actually promote other Team Orange members to start their own fundraising pages or fundraising events so that we can get the community involved. One thing that Penny Appeal prides themselves in is using all of their resources, and as Team Orange coordinators, one thing that we do is we try to promote people that we know that are friends or anyone within our network really to start their own and kind of take initiative to help Penny Appeal meet their goals and their mission.
Yeah, so essentially the initiatives vary from doing bake sales at local mosques or other places of worship, or just really other places, and then to hosting big iftars, so essentially we welcome all different ideas. And
one creative idea that we did was a juice stand, an orange juice stand. We were at University of Maryland for an event that they had, and we just had a table and a juicer and literally over 500 oranges. We cut them up and we squeeze fresh orange juice, and we made money like that. So no idea is really bad. We kind of any kind of creativity and uniqueness that people have to offer, we kind of welcome.
And if you can't be there, if you can't physically be there, or you can't do an event, maybe you have a lot of traveling, you just have a lot of school, we do welcome online initiatives. So for example, one idea that we're doing is Launch Good.
Yeah, so we both, for Ramadan 2018, we both started a Launch Good page together. We're focusing on raising money for the Village Kind program within Pakistan. So that's something that we did together, something outside of Penny Appeal. We just wanted to take as a personal initiative for ourselves. We wanted to focus on that. But another unique thing was how we started off with Team Orange. So Fatma and I went to George Mason University together, and we were in an English course together. The whole semester, I think we shared maybe 3 words with each other, a couple of glances here and there. And it wasn't until at the end of the semester I had, I signed up to volunteer with Penny Appeal so that they can go to ICNA in Chicago, and so did Fatma. And in passing, when they were having a conversation, and we're just wait, you're also volunteering with them? And that's how we became friends. We traveled together. We were on the same plane.
And we've been traveling buddies ever since. We went to Baltimore, Chicago, and we've been all over to different conventions here in the U.S. Just side by side, working at the booths and meeting all the great people and recruiting volunteers and for initiatives and stuff like that.
Since that first convention, we've actually been really close. Our friendship grew. We're like sisters now, and 2 years later now we're both the coordinators of Team Orange, which is kind of amazing, really, kind of seeing that we started off as just Team Orange members, and now we're the ones recruiting and maintaining the whole Team Orange family. So that's a little insight on how Fatma and I became, we're a part of Team Orange and how we become the coordinators of the Team Orange family. But something that we want to encourage is for people to come and join the group. It's such a unique and innovative way. It's kind of unconventional because it's not really just something that you come and volunteer, but instead we do grow together. Many of us have become very close friends. We go on outings a lot, and it's really fun, to be honest. It's an experience. That's what Team Orange is. It's an experience, and it's something that we want people to enjoy and something that we want people to be a part of. And we encourage everyone to come and join the Team Orange family. Me and Fatma are in charge of the DMV area, but if you're not in the DMV area and you want to be in charge, you want to be a part of it, we have coordinators all over the US, and if there isn't a coordinator in your area and you're interested in starting a team over there, contact us and we'll get you going. We'll help you start up your own chapter in your own area. This is honestly one of the best teams I've ever been able to join. It was a growing experience, and there's no regrets.
Yeah, exactly, and we're like family, so I really encourage everyone to be part of this organization. Small change, big difference.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is your brother Mansoor Al-Yasi and I'm the Development Officer at Penny Appeal USA. Ramadan is here, we have a lot of work to do, we have a lot of messages we want to spread, we want to educate people about Penny Appeal's mission and purpose. And as we know, the Prophet ﷺ was the most generous in the month of Ramadan. He was more generous than any time in the whole year. So I think and I believe the Prophet ﷺ understood that the beauty of Ramadan, the spirit of Ramadan is in giving. So inshallah you're going to see us in every masjid, in every Islamic center, inshallah. And and I just want to remind you that Prophet ﷺ was once said that you're not going to reach righteousness until you give from that which you love. So understand the beauty of giving, because it's the time. Ramadan is a time for it.
So that's a wrap. Thank you so much for joining in to this Ramadan special. During the last 45 minutes or so, you would have learned a lot more about Penny Appeal USA and the work that we do. You've had a chance to listen to Arsalan Iftikhar, our brand ambassador. You've heard from Lean and Fatma, our Team Orange volunteers, Mohammed and Aisha, our marketing and communication staff, and of course, Mansoor and Yasmin. Ramadan is a special month. We wish you and your family members a blessed, fulfilled month of spirituality and fulfillment. We hope, inshallah, that this Ramadan you choose Penny Appeal USA as your humanitarian charity of choice. You can sponsor an orphan for just $1 a day. You can dig a well in Pakistan or 9 other countries for just $425. You can help us to feed a family for just $1.50 a day, $45 a month. Please do visit our website, pennyappealusa.org, or give us a call and speak to Carmel on 202-851-2112. Thank you so much for joining in. I've been Osama Mezwi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.